Hi, I'm Margaret Best, and this is my presentation for Delta's recommendation, which is Glide the Glaciers. So, who is Delta? Delta is a major key player in the airline industry. They're known for valuing innovation as well as people management, and they're also one of the oldest airlines in the world in operation. From their website, I pulled straight from it to show kind of what their values are, and they said that they're committed to supporting the communities where we live, work, and serve, as well as their motto being respect the world. Shows that they really are kind of going towards their goal of sustainability, as well as connecting people to all parts of the world, whether it be for work, living, traveling, just to see the world or whatever. They want to be there to connect that bridge for you. Their philosophy is to put people first, and they also were titled Great Place to Work by Forbes and Glassdoor, which really shows that they are wanting to make sure that their employees and their customers are receiving the best service possible. So to properly make a recommendation for Delta, I wanted to take a look at the internal factors as well as the external factors through a SWOT analysis. And this is what I've identified for each of those sectors. For strengths, I identified that they have a strength in their partnerships within the loyalty program. And what I mean by that is that they have alliances through SkyTeam with international airlines that allows Delta loyalty program members to cash in miles that they earn through Delta with other international airlines as long as they're part of that alliance, as well as their fleet, because Delta is known for purchasing or having older planes that they just renovate to make nicer again, even though the planes are not necessarily damaged or anything. And then for weaknesses, I highlighted that they have high employee costs because they do have a high turnover rate, which can make training expensive, as well as their reliance on one market. For opportunities, I said that Delta has opportunities because of the increasing international trips by U.S. residents, as well as increase in inbound trips by U.S. residents. And for threats, I said that they have a threat of substitutes, as well as an increase in international airlines in the U.S., which is a threat because, like I said, with the reliance on one market and weaknesses, their main market is the United States and the residents in the United States. So unless they do something, a lot of flyers could be transitioning to other international airlines. The main factors of the SWOT that I'm going to be focusing on to find the issue identification is their strength within their partnerships and alliances in the loyalty program, paired with the threat of an increasing international airline presence in the US. Delta already does a great job with their loyalty program by offering deals with Starbucks or Lyft or Hertz, which is all travel related, and you can get discounts at all of those places if you are a loyalty member, as well as giving access to their Delta Sky Lounge, which a lot of people like to use in between flights to either eat or get a cocktail or just sit and relax. And they also have those in international airports as well. They also have alliances with international airlines through SkyTeam, which allows Delta loyalty members to cash in miles with those international airlines as long as they're in the alliance. Because there is an increase in international airlines in the US, this poses a major threat because the US is Delta's main market, since they cannot really market towards international presence without legal issues. So unless they do something to set them apart, they could lose a lot of flyers because the other airlines are either doing the same thing or the flyers believe that they're getting a better deal. So my recommendation for Delta would be to form an alliance with White Desert, which is an airline that's currently operating in King George Island, Antarctica. I've named the initiative Glide the Glaciers because it's harping on the fact of gliding, like flying, and then the glaciers, which Antarctica is known for, and they're insanely beautiful. This would strengthen an alliance within their loyalty program because nobody's done it before. There's currently no commercial planes that fly to Antarctica. So it's really uncovering a new market, and it would entice loyalty program members to join or stay with Delta because it allows them to either use their miles to fly through with White Desert or fly just directly through Delta, which I'll get to more in my next slide. Currently, the main travel options are to either fly to Chile and then take a flight to Antarctica, or a big option and the main option is to take a cruise but a lot of people are wary about that because it takes you through the Drake Passage, which is extremely rough waters and is really hard if you get super seasick. So Delta would really be able to harp on this and implement it easily because they are a founding member of their SkyTeam Alliance. So if any of the other airlines were having hesitancies about letting them join or were wondering what the benefits would be, they would have a better pull. And it wouldn't be that hard because White Desert is already flying full trips. They currently use old Emirates planes, but they're successfully booking and they're pretty expensive. So in order to make that more manageable, they would be able to use Delta's miles to take prices off, to help other people see the world. It would also really attract employees to the opportunity because it gives them the opportunity to fly to Antarctica. And like I said, no other commercial airlines are offering that at this moment. So this would really be a good opportunity for Delta to get ahead of the trends and to offer something new to US and international flyers. Let's talk money, because that's what Delta really wants to hear to figure out if this recommendation would be worth it to implement or not. So taking a look at costs, I did this with the idea that Delta would eventually begin to offer their own flights to Antarctica themselves and how much it would be to fill up that plane on gas. So currently in their fleet, Delta owns an Airbus A319, which can withhold the weather conditions that they would be flying into if they chose to fly to Antarctica. And so looking at the price of gas, it's $3.28 per gallon to fill up a plane. And they would have to fill up 4 times, which would total $104,697.06 round trip to go from Atlanta, which is a major hub for Delta, to King George Island. Looking at the benefits side, I compared with White Desert to see what their current pricing already is, and I did the same price because a lot of airlines like to give same pricing or within the same range. And Delta would be offering loyalty members to use miles, so that would help give them a discount if they wanted to. To fly a sold-out Airbus A319, that would mean 126 passengers are on the plane paying for a ticket. You would benefit by making $2,262,000 for a sold-out plane one way. That's just from Atlanta to Antarctica. So that would double just by getting them there and getting them back. That's 21 times the amount spent on gas, just one way. So this is a huge area for Delta to grow in. It's not being done right now in the airline industry, and it would bring in a lot of profit and revenue for the company. Moving forward, this would be a strong move by Delta to form the alliance with White Desert because there's currently no alliances with Antarctica in general or any commercial flights flying to Antarctica. So they'd really be putting themselves ahead of the trends and unlocking a new market by offering this. And they would also be allowing customers and employees to use their miles in a new country and just make it overall achievable for flyers to see new parts of the world. Their main values and missions are people management and putting people first. And this is really putting people first to give them a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to uncover new parts of the world. And as long as this implementation goes well, they could also look into other avenues of growth for other countries that are not currently flying to, or there's no alliances paired with right now, to allow people to see the world and the beauties of the world. It's also an extremely profitable recommendation for Delta. They would be benefiting immensely from it, and it would allow for them to create further alliances and draw in more loyalty program members if they wanted to use the discount to get to Antarctica, or they just appreciate what Delta is doing. This puts them ahead because other alliances are going to be quickly trying to keep up with them. They're going to want to try and also form that alliance with other parts of the world that are currently not being flown to. However, Delta's beaten them to it. So thank you for your time, and I hope you take my recommendation seriously.